Hello, good evening, everyone, and welcome to this session. So, what we'll do in this session is we were going to talk about business schools and how exactly should you go about deciding which business schools to apply to. So, this is a attempt from our side to guide you in this regard. So, using the inputs that I'm going to share, you'll be able to decide which business schools you should be applying for, which business schools you are eligible for. So, you can surely take a call on that. Now, what is the purpose behind this session? Why did we decide to have this session at this particular moment? Let's understand that. So, to begin with, what typically happens is the moment a CAT response sheet gets released, you people will be able to figure out your percentile. Thanks to Time Percentile Predictor, you will get an accurate idea about what percentile you can secure. In the last few years, our accuracy has been absolutely spot on. So, considering that, I hope that you have used the tools that we have uploaded on our website and you have found out what your expected percentile is. In case you have not done this so far, I would strongly recommend you do this as soon as possible because this will be the very first step in your endeavor to select appropriate business schools to apply to because CAT results are still not yet out, whereas there are quite a few business schools which have a deadline before CAT results gets announced. So it makes sense to decide on the basis of your expected CAT percentile. And the best way of figuring out what percentile you will eventually get would be by using our percentile predictor. Now, let me spend just a couple of minutes explaining to you how exactly you can find it out in case you have not done it so far. So to begin with, what you need to do is you need to go to this website of ours, timenumericalforeducation.com. And once you go to our website, timenumericalforeducation.com, you will see a banner, a pop-up banner, which will come up and which will see that you can use our calculator and call predictor. Click on that, and that will lead you to this particular web page. So when you come to this dashboard, this will have the information pertaining to CAT exam. There will be a written analysis that will be out there. Video analysis of CAT exam would be there. That will be followed by score calculator, my CAT performance, percentile predictor, and call predictor. These are the tools that we have made available for our students. Now, what you need to do to begin with is you need to log in. So if you observe on the bottom here, you have this login button. So you click on this login button, and if you're a Time student, you can use your credentials to log in. If you're not a Time student, still you will be able to use it by registering on this portal using your Google credentials. So once you have logged in, then what you can do is you can upload your CAT 25 response sheet link. Mind you, you don't need to upload the file. You just need to copy paste the link. How to get that link? It's very simple. You will log on onto your CAT website, imcat.ac.in. Once you log in, you will be able to go to your response sheet. And once you go to your response sheet on the browser on the top, where your web address is showcased, that's where you will be able to locate the link of your response sheet. Copy it and then paste it in this space that is provided over here. Once you paste it, you can hit the submit button. Once you do that, instantly within hardly couple of seconds, our application will calculate your score. It will give you detailed information about how many of them were correct, how many of your answers were incorrect, among MCQs, how many were correct, how many were incorrect, your scores, and of course, your expected percentile. This information is very important. Without this, you will not be able to figure out which business schools to apply to. So in case anybody here has not found out your percentile using Time Percentile Predictor, I strongly recommend you do it as soon as possible. In case you have used any other predictor, I recommend that you use a Time Predictor also. Considering the accuracy with which we have predicted percentile for CAT 22, 23, 24, I am 100% confident of the accuracy of the prediction that our percentile predictor is doing. So you can use that, and that will help you in figuring out which business schools to apply to. All right. So now that we have understood how to go about doing this, now let me shift my focus to business schools. So what I'm going to do, friends, is I'm gonna give you a list of business schools, and I'm also gonna share with you the deadline for each of them. Now, considering that there are some business schools that we need to urgently apply, whereas there are also business schools which have a little bit of time left and there's no hurry to apply to them as of now. What I have done is I have made a list of them and I'll share them with you in the order of urgency. So we are going to start with business schools which are very urgent, which have a deadline around the corner, and then we will go on and we will talk about business schools which have got still some time left for you to apply to. All right. Now, after I have shared those, I'm also going to give you an idea about some of the premier colleges where the application is not yet out. In fact, the application is expected to be out after CAT results. I'm talking about places such as IITs, for example, or IISC, for example. These kind of places, they usually release their application form after CAT results are released. Even Delhi School of Economics, for instance, they don't release their application forms right now. They wait for the CAT results to be announced and then they will release their application. But to help you, what we have decided is we have decided to give you an information about what percentile probably you should secure in order to apply to those places as well. Now, can anybody accurately predict the cutoff for any business school? Not really, because every business school will decide their cutoff after they have got the application. So based on number of applications they receive, every business school independently will take a call about the cutoff. So whatever numbers I'm going to share here, they're all estimated numbers, and I am gonna encourage people to apply even if they have secured 1 or 2 percentile points lower than the numbers that we expect. The reason for that is right now CAT scorecard is not out and we are all deciding on the basis of predictor. That's the reason we have to be a little cautious and let us apply to business schools even though we may expect 1 or 2 percentile lower, because you never know, one question here, one question there, one key here, one key there changes, and your percentile can jump. So that's the reason it makes sense to apply to business schools, even if you are expecting 1 or 2 percentile points lower. So let's start the discussion. As I said earlier, I'm going to start with business schools, which are having a deadline very close and which urgently you need to decide whether you want to apply or not. So the first one in this list will be the one which has got a deadline today. Yes. So which is the business school which has got a deadline today? It is IIFT, Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, established by Government of India, Ministry of Commerce. Extraordinary business school. They have multiple campuses. The old campus, the original campus is in New Delhi. But then after a few years, they started one in Kolkata also. And Delhi and Kolkata, they have common placements. Then they have started one campus in Kakinada, and another one is in Gandhinagar. So they have got multiple campuses of theirs. Now, IFT, today is the deadline. Now, who should apply to this business school? My suggestion to you is if you are a general category person who is expecting around 95 percentile, if you are expecting around 95 percentile with 60 plus in each of the sections, then please go ahead and do apply to IIFT. They have two programs in place. They have MBA in International Business, that's their flagship program. They also have a business analytics program which got started quite recently. But business analytics is not meant for everyone. Business analytics is meant only for those who have a passion for advanced level mathematics, who are very good at number crunching, who are very good at data interpretation. So if you have the technical bent of mind, only then business analytics program makes sense. So you decide on the basis of your interest. Coming to MBA International Business, even though the name is International Business, but quite frankly speaking, in terms of syllabus, in terms of course content, and more importantly, in terms of career prospects, it is just like any other MBA. Having said that, yes, there will be few additional subjects which are going to deal with import, export, foreign trade, and so on. But broadly speaking, in terms of the kind of recruiters who will come there, kind of job opportunities that you would have, it is just like any other regular flagship MBA program. So this is what I suggest to people when it comes to IIFT. Now, moving on to the next one. And by the way, if you are expecting 95 percentile and 60 plus sectionals, then make sure you apply to IIFT immediately after my session gets over, because today happens to be the deadline. Now, this Mumbai, Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai. This is a pretty old business school. This college started before independence. Yes, you heard me correct. It started before independence. This is older than I.I.M.'s. Amazing, amazing place, and it offers unbelievable ROI. The fee is pretty minuscule. Hardly couple of lakh rupees is what you need to spend, and the average salary is close to 30 lakhs per annum. 25 to 30 lakhs, that's the range of average pay in this college. Now, they offer multiple programs, but under CAT, there are three programs that you need to be aware of. Out of those three, the flagship program of TIS Mumbai happens to be Master of Arts in Human Resource Management and Labor Relations, MA in HRM and LR. Now, this program is arguably the second best program that we have in the country for those who desire to make a career in human resource management. For them, it's an unbelievable option. Apart from that, another good program that they have is ODCL, MBA in ODCL. But this program requires a couple of years of prior work experience. MA HRM and LR doesn't require work experience. Freshers are also eligible to go for this. Now, who should apply for this particular college? As I said earlier, it's a sectoral program. Go for it only if you have interested in HR. As far as percentile is concerned, I would suggest, if you are looking at this particular program, if you are expecting somewhere around 95, it need not be 95, around 95 percentile overall. If you're a general category person, you can surely go for this. Sectionals also are not very high, around 60 percentile sectionals, or 70, 60, 70 percentile sectionals, and 95 percentile overall should be sufficient for this Mumbai. So go for it if you have an interest in making a career in human resource manager. By the way, remember all these cutoffs that I'm mentioning are for general category. If you belong to reserved categories in IFT and TES, the cutoffs will be much lower. Now, moving on to the next one. Next one, we have Xavier University, Bhubaneswar, XIM Bhubaneswar. That's the name of the department, but it's part of Xavier University, Bhubaneswar. Now, this particular business school is part of the Xavier group, and the deadline is very close. It's 10th December, same as TEST. Now, Xavier University, Bhubaneswar, they accept multiple entrance exam scores. Unlike IFT and TEST, which used to accept only CAT, XUB accepts CAT, XAT. For some of the programs, they even accept NMAT. They have their own exam called XGMAT also. So multiple entrance exams are accepted. As far as CAT goes, if you are someone who is expecting around 90 percentile with more than 60 percentile in each of the sections. So around 90 percentile overall and 60 plus in each of the sections is what you are expecting. Then surely consider applying to this particular business school. They offer pretty good education. They have a fabulous infrastructure in place in city of Bhubaneswar. So this is about Xavier University, Bhubaneswar. Moving on to the next one. Again, I'm going in the order of in a chronological order in terms of urgency. Next, we have IMI Delhi. Now, IMI Delhi, the cutoff is, sorry, the last date to apply is 12th December. As of now, that's the deadline. Now, IMI Delhi, the cutoff that usually you will be there would be around 90 percentile. Now, it can be a little less than 90, it can be a little more than 90, but around 90 percentile is what you can expect in IMI Delhi. Now, will they reopen the applications after the deadline? We cannot say with surety. Sometimes they do that after the CAT results, but there's no surety as such. So if you are expecting 90 percentile or around 90 percentile, I would encourage you to go ahead and apply to them as such. They offer good education. Average pay is also pretty decent. It is close to 17 lakhs per annum. And the location is also pretty good, pretty nice. It's in capital city as such. So that is IMI Delhi for you. Moving on to the next one. Next one is a relatively new entrant as far as a 2-year MBA program is concerned. Here I am talking about ISB. So ISB is situated in Hyderabad. As far as their 2-year program is concerned, 20-month to be precise program is concerned, it's situated in Hyderabad. They call this particular program PGPYL. That's the name of the program, postgraduate program for young leaders. So this particular program is a 2-year program, and anybody with less than 2 years experience, including freshers, are eligible to apply for this program. Now, they have multiple rounds. So the round one deadline will be 14th of December. There may be round two, which may open afterwards. But as of now, there is no information about that. As of now, they have only mentioned information about round one. So round one deadline will be 14th of December. Now, as far as ISB is concerned, this is one college which is slightly different from the ones that I have earlier mentioned. Now, the difference is ISB gives a lot of importance to your profile. Now, what exactly do I mean by this term, profile? See, here, profile would essentially mean multiple parameters. It includes your academics. So your academic profile would be having a weightage, your 10th, 12th, graduation, if you have done masters. I mean, all these things would include in your academic profile, the percentage of marks or the ranks that you have secured. Apart from that, work experience may also be given some weightage, though it's not a mandatory requirement. ISB also selects freshers, but WorkX may get you small weightage as such as part of the profile part. Then the achievements that you had in your life, both academic as well as extracurricular achievements, internships, all those will also have weightage in their selection process. Now, who should apply for ISB? I would say if you are somebody with a decent profile, you may not have extraordinary, but as long as you have a good profile and you are someone who is expecting, let's say, 96 plus 96, around 96 percentile in CAT, I would encourage you to consider applying to ISB-YL program. But if your profile is very weak, if your percentage of marks are very low, then probably you can skip ISB. But if your profile is good, it need not be extraordinarily good. Even if it is good 888 kind of profile also, if you have got, and if you're expecting around 96 percentile in CAT, please go ahead and do apply to ISB. If you want to apply in round one, then 14th December would be the deadline. All right, moving on to the next one. Next in the list, we have got Ford School of Management. Ford School of Management is situated in Delhi, and Ford School of Management has a deadline of 15th December. Now, Ford School of Management, again, will they reopen the applications after CAT results? We cannot say with surety. Few years in past, they have done that, but will they do it this year also? We can't be sure. What we would recommend is if you are somebody who is expecting around 85 percentile in CAT, if you're expecting around 85 percentile in CAT, then surely consider applying to Ford School of Management. It's a good option. Average pay is also pretty attractive. It's around 16 lakhs per annum. By the way, if you're wondering why didn't I mention average pay for ISB, the first batch has not yet graduated. So we will come to know about the average pay for the first batch of ISB-YL next year in 2026. So as far as Sports School of Management is concerned, 15th December would be the deadline for it. So if you are expecting around 85 percentile in CAT, consider applying to them. Now, moving on to the next one. Next in the list, we have got a kind of a business school which is very close to Fair School of Management, geographically speaking, in the city of Delhi. I'm talking about Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management. It's an old business school and a pretty well regarded one. The cutoff again in Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management would be around 80, 85 percentile in CAT. So if you're expecting your cutoff in that range, 80 plus is what you're expecting in CAT, you can surely consider applying to LBS IM. The cutoff, the last date to apply is same 15th December 2025. So this is about Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management. Next, let's talk about Nirma University in the city of Ahmedabad. It's a pretty well-respected university in Ahmedabad, and they offer an MBA program with an intake of around 240. And the deadline again is same 15th December 2025. And as far as Nirma University Ahmedabad is concerned, if you are someone who is expecting around 80 percentile, when I say 80, in case of Nirma, I would say even if you are expecting a little lower than 80, I repeat, even if you are expecting a little lower than 80, around 75 percentile also, if you are expecting, you can consider applying to Nirma University Ahmedabad. And it's a good college. Average pay in here is somewhere around 10, 12 lakhs per annum. That is Nirma University, Ahmedabad. Now I'm gonna move on to those colleges where the deadline to apply, the last date to apply is after 15th of December. So in the previous slide, intentionally I have included names which had deadline till mid-December. Now we go to the second half of December. So the list will begin with Goa Institute of Management. Now this date is interesting for me. Now, why did I segregate them like this? Here, if you notice, I have kept it until 15th December, and intentionally in the next slide, I'm moving beyond 15th December. The reason this date is interesting is because the CAT results last year, if you look at, let's say, CAT 24 results, they were released on 20th of December. Now, will it be the same this year? Obviously, nobody knows. It can be a little before 20th December also. It can be a little after 20th December. We cannot be sure. But just to give you an idea, because last year it was released on 20th December, I felt I should inform you about this. Because if CAT results do get released, then obviously you would know officially what your percentile is. Having said that, time percentile predictor in past has been very accurate, but again, it's not official results, right? It's just to give you an idea so that you can decide whether to apply to a particular business school or not if they have a deadline before CAT results. But if there is a business school which has a deadline after CAT results, then obviously it makes sense to wait for official results, then have a look at your percentile and then decide whether you should apply or not. So in case of Go Institute Management, the deadline will be 23rd of December 2025. It's a pretty good college. It has a wonderful infrastructure in place, and situated in a beautiful location of Goa. And as far as GIM is concerned, the cutoff is if you are expecting, let's not say cutoff, let's say if you are somebody who is expecting more than 85 percentile, I would say closer to 90 percentile, but more than 85 percentile is what you are expecting, then surely consider applying to Goa Institute of Management. Now, remember, if you are somebody who is a Goa domicile, that means you are a localite of Goa, then the good news for you is the cutoffs will be much lower than this for Goa domicile applicants. But if you are not Goa domicile applicant, but you are expecting 85 plus percentile in CAT, you can consider applying to Goa Institute of Management. Next, we move on to IRMA. Now, IRMA, they have upgraded it as a university. So earlier, IRMA used to have a flagship program called Postgraduate Diploma in Rural Management. Now, the latest news is it is no longer called Postgraduate Diploma in Rural Management. Instead, it will be known as MBA in Rural Management. And the reason behind this is because IRMA, ladies and gentlemen, has become a university. It will be a part of Tribhuvan Sanskari University. So that will be the name of the university. Now, IRMA will be part of that. So, IRMA is a fabulous place started by extraordinary legend, Korean Varghese. He was partly instrumental. I'm not saying he was the only person, but he was instrumental in the success of IRMA. So IRMA is a very good option if you are interested in rural management program. So if you are having a dream of making a career in this particular sector, then surely consider IRMA as a good option for you. Now, as far as IRMA goes, the who should apply to this college? Number one, you should have interest in rural management. You should have an interest to work in those sectors that are either directly or indirectly related to rural sector. So dairy companies, agribusiness product based companies, fertilizer companies, right? NGOs, and of course you have got rural banks. If you have a dream of making a career in those domains, then do consider IRMA's MBA in Rural Management program. The cutoff is expected to be around 85 percentile in CAT. So if you are expecting that, please go ahead and do apply to them without fail as such. Moving on. The next business school in this list is T.I.M.E Manipal. They have a deadline close to New Year's. So 29th of December is the deadline that they have kept for T.I.M.E Manipal. Now here it becomes interesting because who should apply to T.I.M.E? What percentile you should have in order to apply to T.I.M.E? See, I would say if you are a fresher, if you are somebody without any work experience and you are expecting around a 90 percentile in CAT, do consider applying to T.I.M.E Manipal. If you are somebody who is having a work experience of 1 to 2 years, between 1 to 2 years, by the way, when I say fresher, I mean to say people with less than 1 year experience. It can be zero also. So if you are having 1 to 2 years of experience and you are somebody who is expecting around 85 percentile, you can consider applying to T.I.M.E. And if you are somebody who has got 2 years or 2 year plus experience, even if you have less than 85, that means around 80 percentile or so, you can consider applying to T.I.M.E. You will be getting a profile-based call from T.I.M.E Manipal as such. This is about T.I.M.E. It's a good college. Average pay is around 14 lakhs per annum. Next in the list, we have IIFM Bhopal. So the deadline for IIFM Bhopal is the last day of the year. 31st of December would be the deadline. What does IIFM stands for? Ladies and gentlemen, it stands for Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. That's the name of the business school. So as far as IIFM is concerned, they offer postgraduate program in forest management. Again, it's not a conventional MBA program. You should have interest in that program. Do visit their website and read about what they have to offer as a course content. Also, look at the list of recruiters. You will not find typical recruiters coming here. You will have recruiters who are directly or indirectly related to that particular domain as such. So, if you have interest, go for it. The cutoff will not be high. Even if you are a general category applicant, if you are somebody who is expecting, say, around a 70 percentile in CAT, again, it's not 70, it's around 70, little less, little more. You can still consider applying to IIFM Bhopal as such. Moving on. Next, we have a couple of business schools which are affiliated to Delhi University. We have Department of Financial Studies, New Delhi, and we have Department of Business Economics, New Delhi. Both are affiliated to Delhi University. What happens is because they're affiliated to Delhi University, here the fees will be very, very moderate, hardly around 30,000 rupees per annum would be the fee in these places, and they offer extraordinary education and wonderful, wonderful ROI. The average pay in DB will be around 14 lakhs per annum, whereas DFS average pay is more than that. It's more than 17 lakhs per annum. So ROI is brilliant. Now, who should apply to these colleges? General category people who are expecting say around 95 percentile, little less than 95 for DB, little more than 95 for DFS usually is the cutoff. And you can consider applying to these two colleges. They have a common application form, but in that application form, you need to tell them, you need to decide whether you want to go for only one of them or you want to go for both of them. Application fee will depend on that. So that is about DFS and DB. Both are offering extraordinary ROI. Next, again, remember, for any government college in this list, whatever cutoffs I'm mentioning, that is meant for the general category applicants. If you belong to reserved category, SC, ST, OBC, and CEWS, differently abled, then the cutoffs will be much lower than this. IFMR is again, it's part of KREA University. So Kriya University, it is situated in Andhra Pradesh. So it's part of Andhra Pradesh. And IFMR is an old business school. Earlier it was in Chennai. Now they have relocated to Andhra Pradesh. They have been upgraded as a private university. Now IFMR, they have multiple rounds. So the first round deadline is 15th January. They will have second round starting after that, but round one deadline will be 15th of January. And the cutoff in IFMR, if you are somebody who is expecting, say, around 75, 80 percentile. It's around 80 percentile, so it can be a little more than 80, it can be less than 80, but because right now I'm taking this session when you don't know your percentile, if you are expecting 75 plus percentile in CAT, then this is one business school that you can consider applying to. Now let's move on to business schools which have a deadline after this. So next we move on to KJ Somaya in Mumbai. As far as KJ Somaya is concerned, they have a deadline of 20th January 2026. And as far as KJ Somaya goes, if you are someone who is expecting 80 plus percentile in CAT, around 85, 80 plus percentile if you are expecting, then do consider applying to KJ Somaya Mumbai as such. They have good placement opportunities, average pay is around 12 lakhs per annum. SDA Bocconi Asia Center, Mumbai. That's the name of business school. It's an Italian business school which has got its main campus in the city of Milan in Italy. So in Asia, they decided to start another campus in Mumbai. They call it SDA Bocconi Asia Center. Now they have multiple rounds. Round one deadline is done. Round two deadline will be 22nd of January. They will have round three also after that. So as far as SDA Bocconi is concerned, again, they do give importance to profile. So generally, people who have okay kind of profile, who are freshers, if you are expecting, say, around 80 percentile in CAT, you can consider applying to them. If you are having work experience, if your profile is terrific, then you may get a call even at lower percentile. Again, if your profile is weak, the cutoffs may go up beyond this also. So it depends on that also. That is about SDA Bocconi Asia Center. Next in the list, we have Bitsom. This is a business school that is operated by the same management that runs BITS Pilani. So they started a business school in Mumbai called Bitsom. So pretty powerful lineage. Average pay is also pretty attractive. It is around 23 lakhs per annum. So Bitsom again gives quite a bit of importance to profile. So if you are expecting a percentile of around 90 percentile in CAT, surely consider applying to BITSOM. If your profile is very strong, if you have work experience, or if your academics are brilliant, then you may get a call at an even lower percentile than that. All right, so that is about BITSOM. Moving on to the next one. Next in the list, we have Micah Ahmedabad. So Micah Ahmedabad, 29th January is the deadline. Now Micah, as you know, they conduct their own exam called MyCat. So they conduct MyCat exam twice. MyCat 1 is already over and the MyCat 2 will happen in February. So second week of February is where MyCat 2 has been scheduled, but the deadline to apply to MyCat, indirectly apply to MICA, would be 29th of January. Remember, CAT alone will not be the criteria. So in order to get an interview call from MICA, you need to write CAT or XAT or GMAT. In addition to that, you also need to appear for MyCat. Now, who should consider applying to this one? they offer sectoral programs. So they have two programs. They have postgraduate diploma, diploma in management communications, and then they have got postgraduate diploma in management. The first program is meant for those who want to make a career in marketing, advertising, who are very creative by nature. So if you are somebody who is interested in marketing, then go for this. PGDM is a program designed for those who want to make a career in business analytics. Now, as far as percentile and CAT is concerned, I will encourage people who are expecting at least 80 percentile in CAT to consider going for this. If you are having an interest in that, in those programs, I have clearly explained what those programs are all about. Based on your interest, also, you should take a call. Next in the list, we have Bharti Dasan Institute of Management, popularly known as BIM Trichy. It's an old business school, and they have kept a deadline at the end of January, 31st of Jan. Uh, Good college, decent college, average pay is somewhere around 10, 12 lakhs per annum. And percentile, who should go for this? If you are expecting, say, around 80 percentile in CAT, little less, little more, then you can consider going for BIM Trichy. Next in the list, we have Manage Hyderabad. Now, Manage Hyderabad, they offer postgraduate diploma in agri-business management. So if you are having an interest in making a career in agriculture and food sector, if you have an interest in making a career in agriculture and food sector, then do consider applying to this particular program. It's a good option for those who have interest in that particular domain as such. But if you are somebody who's very clear, I don't want to get into agriculture and allied sector, then you can skip this. The cutoff for general category is not very high. Even if you are someone who is expecting, say, 70 plus percentile in CAT, I would encourage you to consider applying to Manage Hyderabad, provided you have an interest in making a career in that particular domain. NIBM Pune, the deadline is 20th March. So a lot of time is there for this particular college, but it has a very terrific lineage started by Reserve Bank of India. It's a very good option if you want to make a career in banking and allied sector. So if you want to get into those kind of domains, so that kind of sector, those kind of profiles, banking, insurance, if that's what you want to get into, then NIBM would be a good option to consider. The cutoff has increased a lot in the last year or so. The cutoff now is beyond 90. So if you are expecting more than 90 percentile, then you can expect a call from NIBM. You can apply to NIBM. So 90 percentile people, if you are expecting 90 percentile, around 90 percentile, I would encourage you to go for this particular college, provided you have an interest in making a career in banking and allied sectors. Now, Liba Chennai, it's a college situated in Chennai, Loyola Institute of Business Administration. I have written information not available for the deadline because they have not released the deadline, but the application form is available right now. It's a good college in the city of Chennai. And if you are somebody who is expecting more than 75 percentile in CAT, close to 80 percentile, ideally speaking, but 75 plus percentile people, I would encourage you to consider applying to Loyola Chennai. Now, if anybody is a Catholic Christian, then the cutoffs will be lower than this. Next, we move on to IITs. Now, as far as IITs are concerned, remember, IITs are very ethical in a way. The reason I say they are very ethical is because only after CAT results come out, IIT applications will be out. So in a way, it's very ethical on their part because you can have a look at your CAT results and then you can decide whether you want to apply to them or not. So IIT Bombay, let's start with that. Now, interestingly, IIT Bombay last year took a historic decision of opening the doors for non-engineers also. Earlier, IIT Bombay used to admit only those with 16 years of education, primarily engineers. That's no longer the case. Even if you have done a 3-year degree program, BBA, BCom, BSc, BA, whatever, you are eligible to apply to IIT Bombay. But the cutoff will be on the higher side. So if you are expecting, say, 97 percentile in CAT, then yes, you can consider IIT Bombay. Having said that, people with terrific profiles, because academic profile also will have a weightage, they can get a cutoff, they can get a call at a lower percentile also. IIT Delhi is also pretty much similar. If you are expecting around 97 percentile, I'm saying around 97. It can be a little less also. Then do consider applying to IIT Delhi. Again, profile-based calls some students may get at a slightly lower percentile also. Vinod Gupta School of Management, IIT Kharagpur, they have a cutoff. If you are expecting, say, 90 plus percentile, do consider Vinod Gupta School of Management for yourself. Again, profile does have a weightage here also. IIT Kanpur, again, it is around 90 percentile. They offer terrific ROI. In fact, all the IITs that I'm mentioning, they all offer very good return on investment. IIT Kanpur has much lower salary than the ones that I have already mentioned, so that makes it attractive from that angle. Average salary in IITs is also pretty good. Bombay average pays more than 25 lakhs. Delhi is around 25 lakhs. Kharagpur is 20 plus. Delhi is also 20 plus. Kanpur is around 18 lakhs. Even Madras is around 18 lakhs. So Madras, I would say if you are somebody who is expecting anywhere between 90, 95, closer to 95, in fact, closer to 95 percentile, if you're expecting, do consider IIT Madras as a option for yourself. Next, IIT Roorkee. If you are expecting 90 percentile, then do consider IIT Roorkee. Again, just like other IITs, here also the fee is on the lower side. An average pay is very healthy. It's around 18 lakhs. So again, it becomes an attractive option for you. These are your top six IITs. Then we come to IIT Jodhpur. It's a good college, not on the equal footing as others, but again, it's a good college. If you are expecting, I would say 80 plus percentile in CAT for general category, then you can consider IIT Jodhpur. Average pay is somewhere around 12, 13 lakhs per annum. Then we move on to ID Dhanbad. Here the cutoff will be on the lower side. So if you are expecting, say, around 70, 60, 70 kind of percentile, if you are expecting 60, 70 percentile in CAT, you can consider applying to IIT Dhanbad. IIT Guwahati, again, the cutoffs usually here are not very high. If you are expecting around 70 percentile, you can consider IIT Guwahati. It's relatively a new MBA program. It started only a year back as such. So this is about the IITs that we have in the country. Now I'm going to move on to IISc Bangalore. Now IISc Bangalore also releases their application form after the CAT results get announced. But IISc Bangalore, there are a few things you need to be aware of. First and foremost, it's a very good option if you're interested in business analytics. Only if you're interested in business analytics, go for it, but they offer amazing ROI. Fees is hardly around 5 lakhs. Average salary is close to 30 lakhs per annum. Unbelievable ROI. But cutoff is very high because of this reason. So if you are expecting, say, 95 plus percentile in CAT, then you consider ISC Bangalore. Sometimes cutoff goes beyond 97 percentile also, just for your information. The reason for that is they have a very small batch size, very less batch size. Less than 20 will be their intake. So that's the reason the cutoffs will be on the higher side. Now, I'm going to talk about few colleges which have closed their application form as of now, but there is a possibility. There's no surety, but there is a possibility of them again reopening their applications after the CAT results. So in case it happens, you should be aware. So that's the reason I'm mentioning them. So Great Lakes Chennai and Great Lakes Gurgaon, a good option to consider. Great Lakes Chennai, they have an average pay of around 15 lakhs. Gurgaon is also close to that number. 12 to 15 lakhs is the average pay. In terms of cutoff, you can expect a cutoff, or if you are expecting, let's not use the word cutoff. Let's say if you are expecting a percentile of around 85. So 80 to 85, around 85 percentile if you're expecting, then Chennai campus, and much lower than this. In fact, if you are someone who is expecting around 75 percentile, you can expect Gurgaon. So that is what you can keep in mind as percentiles to target. IMT also has closed the applications for now, but again, it is expected to reopen after the CAT results. And if they do reopen it, remember for Ghaziabad campus, which is their flagship campus, usually you need around 90 percentile in CAT. All right, that is about IMT Ghaziabad. Nagpur and Hyderabad, they'll have much lower cutoffs. So around 70 percentile may be the cutoffs for those campuses. It may be slightly higher, but around 90, 70 percentile for Nagpur and Hyderabad. But for Ghaziabad, you have to have around 90 percentile in CAT. Delhi School of Economics, they have not yet released the application form. So every year, Delhi School of Economics, in a very ethical manner, they release their applications after CAT results are out. And this college, just like DFS and DB, they are also affiliated with Delhi University. They offer unbelievable ROI. So the fee is very, very less, and the average pay is on the higher side. So that makes it a very attractive option for you to consider as such. By the way, students, I have seen that some of you have given me uh, some questions. I'm going to answer them at the end of my session. Now, Delhi School of Economics, if you should apply to it, if you are someone who is expecting around 95, so a little less than 95 also, if you are expecting, you can consider applying to Delhi School of Economics. Very good ROI college. So this is about colleges where the application forms are not yet available. As of now, they are not available. Now, before I take up your questions, very quickly, I wanted to give you an idea about the exams also. XAT has extended the deadline. So earlier, XAT deadline was 5th of December, but very graciously, they have decided to extend the deadline to 11th of December. As a result of this, if you are interested in XLRI or God forbid your CAT did not go well and you want a good backup option, solid backup option, I strongly recommend you consider XAT, especially if you are not expecting good percentile in CAT. Trust me, XAT will be a very good option to consider. So XAT exam, the last date to apply will be 11th of December. Do consider applying to it if you have not done it already. Exam will be on 4th of Jan. MAT, the computer-based test, the deadline is 15th of December. Exam will be on 21st of December. Is it an important exam? I would say consider this if you are looking at mid-range or lower range kind of colleges. If you're very ambitious, you're only looking at top-notch colleges where average pay should be beyond 20 lakhs kind of pay packets, then it will not be able to live up to your expectations. But they do have some decent colleges, Christ Bangalore, XIME, right? IP. I mean, there's a long list. So in case you are looking at those kind of colleges, then it can be an option that you can consider. It's a much easier exam to write. Then we have IPSAT meant for ICFI business schools. The last date to apply is 20th of December. Exam will happen on 27 and 28 of December. And MyCat 2, as I said earlier, also the deadline will be 29th of Jan and 13th Feb will be the date of the exam. Even if you have written MyCat 1, you can still write MyCat 2. There's no harm. They will take best of 2. I have already spoken about the kind of programs that MICA offers. So I hope you are able to recollect that. So this was a quick synopsis of the exams where application forms are still available for you as such. Now let me take up some of the questions that you have shared with me. So let's go back. I'll have a look at it. Okay, beta. The first question comes from Janak Raj. He says, I'm scoring 15 slot 1. I'm female non-engineers. Which colleges and IIMs can be expected? Now, friends, remember, I showed you our percentile predictor dashboard. Let me go back to it in case, Janak, you were not there at the beginning of my session. Now, on our time portal, if you go to Time website, you will be able to see a banner there. Click on it and it will take you to this dashboard. Here, if you observe at the bottom, you will see call predictor. Use call predictor, Janak. What happens here is you'll have to upload your URL of your response sheet here, and it will generate your expected percentile. And then when you want to use your call predictor, it will ask for some additional details. It will ask for your academic profile details, work experience details, gender, graduation, are you engineer, non-engineer, reservation category. All those inputs will be taken from you, and our application will tell you the expected calls that you can secure. So do ensure that you use a call predictor without fail, so that you will get an idea about which colleges you can expect. So do use that, Janak, without fail. Sandesh says, so what about EWS category? How much different will it be from general? So the difference between general and EWS generally is not humongous. It's a small difference. For most colleges, EWS cutoffs will be lower than general. The only exception here probably are the new and baby IMs. In case of new and baby IMs, the difference is humongous. So you can have difference as huge as around 15 percentile, 10 to 15 percentile difference. So humongous difference in case of new and baby IIMs, but for colleges, let's say like IAFT or some of the IITs, there will be a difference. EWS cutoffs will be lower, but it will not be as huge a difference as it will be for IIMs. The next questions comes from, okay, a student who was asking me about IITs. This question was posted in the beginning of my seminar, so I did cover IITs, so you got an idea about that. So one friend is asking me about IMI Delhi. Do they have sectional cutoffs? Sometimes they do keep a sectional cutoffs, but most of the times they don't keep sectional cutoffs. So it changes from year to year as such. Even in the years when they kept sectional cutoffs, it was very moderate sectional cutoffs. So hardly around 60 percentile or so, 50 percentile or so is what they kept in the past. But sometimes there is absolutely no sectional cutoff. So even if you have low sectionals in one of the section, I would still encourage you to go ahead and apply. So Aditya Mohan is asking me to evaluate his profile. Aditya, best way of evaluation of your profile will be by using call predictor of time. So please go to our website and use call predictor. We will ask all your inputs, and we have an excellent application in place, and we have fed it with a lot of good inputs, a lot of good data points, official concrete data points have been put in, and that's the reason it will give you a very good analysis of your profile by mentioning you which calls you can expect. The next question comes from Agarwal. Agarwal says, for MICA Ahmedabad, should we write MICAT or only CAT is enough? Well, remember I spoke about it earlier. I guess you have joined a little late. So let me repeat it for your benefit. For MICA Ahmedabad, my friend, you need to write either CAT or XAT or GMAT. You have to write one of these three exams compulsory. In addition to this, you also need to appear for their own exam called MyCat. So MyCat alone is not enough. You have to write CAT or XAT or GMAT. In case you write multiple of these exams, excellent. They will take best of your performances out of those three when they consider you for the shortlisting stage. The next question comes from Vishal. Vishal says, apart from XLRI, uh, which other top business schools accept XAT? So Vishal, XAT has a lot of good colleges. So the top colleges under XAT will include, of course, I'm going to start with XLRI, right? They have two campuses. Jamshedpur is their flagship campus, and then they started a new campus in Delhi a few years back. So XLRI is a excellent option, not a good option, I should say, excellent option. Then Xavier University, Bhubaneswar is there. Then IMT Ghaziabad is a very good option. IMI Delhi has also started accepting XAT. IRMA also accepts XAT. MICO also accepts XAT. Goa Institute of Management is there. Great Lakes, Chennai, Great Lakes, Gurgaon is there. IFMR is there. Four has also started accepting XAT scores, right? So there are so many good colleges, my friend. Liba is there, BIMTech is there. I mean, such a long list, my friend. So do consider writing XAT. God forbid if your CAT did not go well, you don't need to panic. Write XAT so that you will have a very good backup option in place. The next question comes from Somi Agarwal. Somi Agarwal says, which tier does ISB fall? So in time, we categorize B school as per grades. So we have system of grades. So time gives top 10, then followed by triple A plus, then triple A, then we have double A, then we have A. Like this, we give grades. We don't rank, we grade. Now, as far as ISB is concerned, we have not yet given it a grade because they have not yet completed 2 years. So in time, we will only grade a business school after it has been in offering the program for 2 years. Because after 2 years, what happens? Placements will happen. We strongly believe placements play a major role in evaluating quality of a college. I'm sure you would agree with me. But having said so, in case of ISB, they already have an extraordinary track record of PGP program. So considering the unbelievable legacy of PGP, it is safe to say, even if you are super ambitious, even if you are somebody who is desiring to get into top 10 business schools of India, I would still encourage you to consider applying to ISB. Surely it can compete with the top 10 business schools that we have in the country. So ISB will be right in the top as far as categorization goes. Having said that, you can have a look at time-based school categorization of ISB. It will happen next year when it will complete 2 years of its existence. Let me move on to the next question. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, Aruna Bhamitra 007. Time percentile predictor 99.3. Considering I will not get a call from Blackie or Efima since I'm Gem, okay, what will be my next best business school options? So, if whether you will get Blackie calls or not, I would encourage you to use call predictor. Now, as for the second part of your question is concerned, which business schools you should consider if you are somebody who is very ambitious? If you are very ambitious, my friend, do consider ISB Hyderabad. You should surely consider the top IITs, right? IIT Bombay, not all IITs, but top ones, IIT Bombay, Delhi, those two for sure you can consider. Apart from that, you can also keep some options like IAFT, for instance. Today is the deadline. If you are interested in HR, you can also consider TIS Mumbai as a option for yourself. It's a terrific, terrific place to consider as such. If you are having a creative bent of mind, you can also look at MICA, Ahmedabad as such. And of course, if you want a plan B, then you can also consider places like BITSOM, for instance, or IMT, for instance, IMI, for instance, Xavier University, Bhubaneswar, for instance. These are your plan B. And of course, if you are considering plan B, if you are willing to consider plan B, then probably Kanpur, Madras, Kharagpur, Roorkee, those also will come into picture. But if you are very ambitious, probably these are the ones that you should surely consider without fail as such. Okay. Aditya says, does time percentile cat predictor commonly gives a more pessimistic or optimistic estimate of the real percentile? It gives you a realistic prediction, right? I won't say optimistic, neither I would say pessimistic. But at the end of the day, even though we have been very accurate in the last few years, but we do have humility to say that it's a predictor. It's not the official scorecard. So that's the reason I'm saying that if you are expecting slightly lower than that number also, and if the deadline for your business school is expected to be before the CAT results get announced, I would encourage you to still apply to that business school. Uh, okay. Will normalization affect my percentile heavily? I'm in slot 3, 99.08 percentile. See, I would encourage you to use time percentile predictor. Since you have not used time percentile predictor, I would encourage you to use time percentile predictor because we have also taken into account that aspect also. So do use time percentile predictor after my session gets over. Sandesh Varis has shared his entire profile details and is asking me, should I consider applying to ODCL of TIS and BitSOM? Will it be a right decision? Is the question. See, considering your performance, I would say yes. Please go ahead and do consider applying to them. Your profile is pretty decent. Go ahead and apply. Don't miss the opportunity for both ODCL of TIS as well as BitSOM. You have a decent chance. Bhattacharya, you have given me your score better. Please use time percentile predictor and you will get your expected percentile. I won't be able to mention it now. You use our predictor for that. Next question comes from Mahe Gowda. He says, is ISB-YL worth going compared to old IIMs? Definitely, yes. ISB definitely, I would say, can compete with old IIMs. And if you are very ambitious also, I would still encourage you to consider ISB Hyderabad. So Meghna is asking me about JBIMS. Definitely a brilliant college. Time consider it's among the AAA plus business schools. Separate application form will be released by DT Maharashtra when it comes out. Do apply to it. But the cutoff, if you are not a Maharashtra domicile, will be very, very, very high. 99.9 plus percentile usually is the cutoff there because the non-Maharashtra people, they will have very less number of seats. Only 15% of the seats will be assigned for non-Maharashtra domicile people. The right term to use is all India seats because even Maharashtrians, they can compete for those. So call predictor, it will become live. I can see a couple of you have mentioned that call predictor is not live. We expect it to be live today itself, today night. So tonight you can expect call predictor to go live. So please do use call predictor tonight or early tomorrow morning. Do use call predictor. We are working on it. Our IT team is completely working on it, and they do expect to make it live in the next hour or so. If not, at most tomorrow morning, you can surely expect call predictor to go live as such. Do use it because that gives you a very good estimate. So Shreya has mentioned that she expects around 90, around 80 percentile as far as time predictor is concerned. So Shreya, I gave a lot of colleges na beta in today's session where the cutoff will be around 80. To that list, I would also add places like Wellinkar or BIMTech, right? National Insurance Academy, right? Those colleges also you can add to that list and you can apply to them also. So Zinc is asking me cutoff for baby IIMs, the lower ones. So usually, if you are somebody who is expecting, say, 90 percentile in CAT, you can expect at least a baby IIM call, at least one baby IIM call for sure with 90 percentile. But if you want multiple calls, if you're a general category, then 95 percentile is advisable. But even at around 90 percentile, you can expect a call. In fact, if you're a female or if you're a non-engineer, even if you're a general category, you can get a call with slightly lower than 90 also in couple of baby IIMs. But having said that, let me clarify, sectional cutoffs will be there in baby IIMs. Keep that in your mind. All right. So with this, I have answered all the questions that I have got, and I guess I have come to the end of this session. Hope you like this session, and do hit the like button if you liked it, please. And I wish all of you all the very best for CAT results, and I do hope that all of you come out with flying colors. And please do join for GWPI preparation as soon as you get your first interview call because we at Time we have an extraordinary team in place who will give you extraordinary training for group discussion, essay writing, extempore, interview, every single activity that will happen in the second stage of selection process. And our results speak for themselves. And it's only because of the quality of the team that we have in place, the results are extraordinary. So do Start your GWBI preparation with time so that you do convert your valuable call. All right. So I wish you all the best, everyone. Take care and good night.